Hey YouTube, it's Fred here from Hillians Bricks and welcome to a new video. And in today's video we're going to talk about the Bricklink Designer program that was just announced yesterday. So if this is the first time here on our channel, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and like this video. That helps a lot. So what is the Bricklink Designer program about? So recently there have been lots of Lego ideas that have been rejected, and kind of Lego wanted to give a second chance to some of these ideas. So they went through it and looked at some of the sets that weren't covered with any intellectual property or anything, and they've decided to invite a lot of these people who've designed it, part of the 10K club, to be participating. And the 31 people have been chosen to participate into this Bricklink Designer program. So what is it about? So there's three phases that are currently happening. So we're now into the first phase, which is a pre-production, it's called. That's between now and the 31st of May. So what this means is there's every single designer of these sets has a chance to kind of review the sets, optimize and making sure that it's using Lego parts that are already in existence, and really fine-tune the project, because then Lego are going to review it and see whether it's production worthy, whether they can actually produce these sets. So that's actually the second phase, which starts from the 1st of June. Lego are going to start to announce which sets are being taken forward to the next step, and then it becomes a crowdfunding exercise. So anything that gets from then onwards, you will be able to start pre-ordering only on Bricklink. And I think once you've reached 3,000 pre-orders, it will then become a full production potentially. So it's all going to be up to us to decide which crowdfunded sets are going to be made available. And I think it's up to 13 sets that are going to be made available. So yeah, and that's between the 1st of June and the 10th of August when the crowdfunding period starts. So, and a lot of these sets, if they go to manufacturing, only 5,000 sets will be made. So they'll all be very exclusive sets. So from a Lego investing perspective, I think it could be worth to keep an eye on these sets to see which ones will make it. So yeah, maximum 13 is what Lego has said. So yeah, I'm really interested to see what's going to happen now. And then from September onwards, they will finally decide which sets have met the 3,000 threshold, and then some of these sets will go into production. Now it's worth noting that not every country is going to be able to participate, but all the big major countries around the world should be able to. For now, it says that Lego is only going to be manufacturing in Europe, but they might also look at having a site available in North America from a distribution perspective. So, but yeah, there's no idea what it's going to cost, but ultimately it depends on which sets are going to make it. So I'm not going to go through every 31 sets that are in there. I'll put the link in the description below to the Bricklink site where you can find them. But what I'm going to do is highlight my top 13. So if I had to choose 13 of this list, I will take you through the 13 that I would choose in like numerical order. So from 13th to all the way to the first, which I think that's my favorite set of them all. So if you agree or disagree, leave a comment and let us know if any of the sets that I haven't talked about you would put in there. So yeah, let's start a discussion. But yeah, it's very exciting news from my perspective, because I've seen lots of these sets before and kind of disappointed that they never made it, but now there's a chance here that they will make it. So let's start counting down from 13 to all the way to 1. Right, so we're about to start looking at where we are in terms of the Bricklink program. So this is the actual Bricklink Designer program, as I mentioned. So so there are 13 sets that we're going to highlight now in order. So we're going to start with number 13. So our 13th favorite set that we're going to talk about is this one. Actually, I'll start at the bottom. It's called The Pursuit of Flight. So I think this is quite a cute set. It's kind of got like some mechanism underneath it. I can go through some of the photos. You can see you twist this, and I think the planes and move left to right. I think it's quite smart. I think this could be quite popular with some aviation enthusiasts. I'm one of those, but also I think it's quite unique. You can change the planes, different planes, and I think it's a quite clever concept. It could be like a little small desk piece. I could see this could go quite well, because compared to some of the other sets that I'm going to go through, this is quite on the smaller side in terms of scale. So from a price point, I think this is going to be a lot more accessible than potentially some of the other ones. So this is my 13th favorite set, so it just creeps into my top 13 of sets. So number 12, let's have a look what number 12 brings. So number 12 is BrickQuest Studios. Now this is quite an interesting thing from a personal level, because many years ago I've submitted my own Lego IDs, and it was a Western theme related as well. Now it was nowhere near as good as this, but I kind of have I thought Lego was missing some Western themes in the the modern era. So it's interesting to see this concept that came up. So just go and browse through some of the pictures. This looks quite set. It's like meant to be like a movie set. You know, you can see there's a lot of attention to details, and I think that it kind of opens up. So I think it's very clever the way they've done this. And I can see this do quite well. I think it does have quite a lot of high piece count from what I can see, and a lot of tan and reddish brown. But yeah, if we were to scroll down, does it have the brick count? Yeah, it's just under 3,000 parts. And you can kind of gather from by the comments. So this one's got 19 comments at the time of us checking on how well it's doing. So yeah, I think this would be my 12th choice. Now, number 11. Number 11 is the Winter Chalet. I think this looks quite neat. I like the color combinations. You know, when if you've been following this channel for the first time this year, we kind of created a Christmas related build with some Lego sets. I think this would kind of go in nicely with there. The only thing I don't kind of agree with is that it's got quite a lot of snow, but then it's got quite a lot of plants as well. And you know, the timing of the year, it doesn't always go plants with snow. Maybe there's just some plant pots, but yeah, that's kind of my only criticism of this set. But it looks really good. And you can see at the back, it's very similar to the club, you know, the elf, you know, what's called the elf clubhouse, I think it's called. Yeah. So yeah, it's similar, you know, with the beds and the, you know, the kitchens. Lots of attention to detail in this set. I'm not sure this will make the final production cut, but I think this looks quite cool, and this would be my number 11. Right, so we're gonna go on to 10 now. So my 10th favorite one is the boat repair shop. Now, not really into like the boat theme and thing, but I do like, I forgot what it's called, but it was the other Lego ID set. I think it's the Fisherman's Store or whatever it's called. It looks really nice, and I think this would go well with that. Now, I don't have the other set, but I think that's done really well. You can see it's like very smart. If you can put like some, maybe it should have like a water feature as well here. So kind of add maybe a blue plate to go into the water. That would be a nice added feature. But apart from that, I think it looks really neat. Very kind of fits in with the color scheme of the other set that's already been in Lego IDs. So I think that's kind of like what they're hoping for, to kind of build upon that. But yeah, I think that would look nice by any kind of like beach waterside resort. So I think if you have a Lego city, that would fit in nicely. So that's why it made my top 10. And kind of linked into this theme is my number 9 choice. My number 9 choice is this one here, the Great Fishing Boat. Now I think Lego have built some, you know, interesting boats lately, but they kind of all be the big hulls. I think this is a very different way that they built a boat. There's also the rumor that might be a Titanic coming this year, so who knows. But I think this is very smart. I like the color scheme on this set. Looks really good. You know, the minifigures. I think this is a set that could do quite well. 1,470 parts. You know, it's not the biggest in terms of piece count, but it's big enough, right? It's still a significant size set. And I think from a price point perspective, this could do quite well. 21 comments. So yeah, I think this is a nice set, and if this came out, I'd probably get one. Now we're going to go now to number 8. Now the next few sets that you're going to see is kind of like in a theme development. So you got to think about the next few sets, like potentially as a combination of them all would be really nice feature in some sort of set, and also with another set that's already just came out as well. But let me just show you what number 8 is. And number 8 is the Castle in the Forest. So now Lego is rumored to bring out a few old castle sets, but this looks obviously like in a forest scene. It is quite nice. I think it's got some quite a few playability and hidden features in there as well. As you can see, this lifts up. I think it looks quite nice, but you can imagine that kind of forest setting. If you build some sort of forest, could be even like incorporate some of the other sets. And the other set I'm going to talk about, which is number 7. So I'm going to go on to number 7 now. You could imagine this set with the next one is this one here, the Mountain Windmill. So if you have the Mountain Windmill, I think this looks really cool. Again, you could put this in a forest, you know, with some rocks behind it. Also maybe put in the medieval blacksmith. That I think kind of like the same era would all go really well together, in my opinion. So I think this is a really beautiful set as well, this windmill. And I was surprised that this didn't make it at the time when they did announce it. But yeah, this looks really cool. And you can see, you know, 2,000 parts. It's already got 25 comments. I think this will do quite well, and I'm expecting this one is going to make it. Now, then the final set that kind of works with this one, which is number 6. And remember, I mentioned it's like a forest, and in the forest I sometimes imagine some sort of hills and everything like that. And what I'd like to see as well is some sort of waterfall feature. So you could have, you know, a waterfall feature that kind of has that in there. So this could be like the number 6, if you could put all the sets together in like an area in a wooded forest and then have like a waterfall. I think these would all work really well. I think I'm not seeing all the details of this. I saw this a long time ago, but I believe this could be motorized, and there's like elements that fall down and it kind of recuperate, that turns into like a, it looks as if it gives the sensation of water actually falling down this cliff. So it's quite a smart way that they've built this. So yeah, I like the design. It's quite unique. Looks quite parts intensive on the dark bluish grey. You know, got 2,150 parts. If you want to, there's a video as well on how it works. So it's quite interesting. You know, the designers put a lot of detail in there and thought on how to promote this. You know, I'm surprised it's only got 8 comments. But yeah, maybe this might not do as well as I was hoping. But you know, time will tell, right? There's still plenty of time before the final decision gets made. So we're now going to go on to our top 5. So in 5th place, is going to go to more of my favorite kind of theming, and it's thinking about Lego city building again. You know, I like modular buildings, so from my perspective, a modular construction site will look pretty cool. So it's like a halfway built building with a crane next to it. This could really incorporate well into a city. You know, there's got quite a few pictures in there. You can actually see a lot of details. You know, the cements, and you know, it's like a little working construction site. You know, building plans. I think this is really clever. Quite a big set again. You know, the building, the stairs. It's all really well thought of. But you know, 4,000 parts. I think this is going to have to come down a bit, because there's quite a parts intensive. And I think if they want to have any success in making this set a reality, I think it's going to have to become below the 4,000 parts mark, because otherwise I can't see this ever making it. But yeah. You can see 24 votes, 24 comments. I mean, this is something probably on people's list. And again, there's a video if you want to have a look about what this set does. But yeah, I think that's quite a cool set potentially. But yeah, my concern would be the price point if it's 4,000 parts. Now, number 4. So on the 4th one, I think this one is called the Venetian Houses. I think this is a beautiful looking set, like the color scheme and the way they built this. I think they've really portrayed it really well. You know, the feeling from like Venice, you know, that North Italian look looks really good. You know, with a little canal running through it. I'm not sure if they've got even a gondola. Well, they got one there, I guess, but it would have been good if they had the minifigure with it on it, maybe someone singing. It would be really good, but I think this is a very smart design. It's a shame they haven't got any pictures from the inside, because if you read the description below, it talks about 17 minifigures. Now, I don't see any of those, but it's got like a library, music school, so it's got lots of different features inside it. 3,600 bricks. You know, this would not be cheap if this became a reality. But I think it is beautiful. I can even look, this is make it from a modular build, right? So it doesn't even necessarily have to become Venetian. We could have some sort of river canal system in your city and kind of incorporate that as well. So I think it's really unique and it's really nice. So I quite like the look of that, and that's why it's my number 4. Let's see how many comments it's got so far already. 14. So we're going to go to the top 3 now. So number 3, what do we have at number 3? So number 3 is the Temple of Hermit. So I see this more as an incorporation of like an Asian style theme, obviously, but like, you know, if you think about Ninjago City, this is a sort of area where I think if I built a Lego city, this could fit in. I think this looks really, really beautiful. The way they've done the roofing, you know, with all the round bricks, it looks really smart. Again, this definitely, I do like the style of this. I think a lot of attention to detail has been put into this set. Also with the tree. Let me just go through some of the pictures so you can see sky, wind, fire, water and earth. So it's like the 5 elements. It's got kind of like a story behind it. I think it's really clever. I like the look of it a lot. Let's have a look how many parts. They haven't got the parts count on it. That's what I potentially would be concerned about. But yeah, 34 comments. So this is clearly a popular set from a lot of people already. That they see this as something that could do quite well. I would expect if this passes the production threshold level, this set is likely going to make it, because it's very unique from all the other things that we've seen so far. That's why I think it's going to do quite well. Now, that was number 3. So on number 2, and I think it's only fair that it's in there because we're all fans of Lego, And it's the Lego Store modular version. So, you know, what Lego city, every Lego city, in my opinion, should have a Lego store, right? So, I think it's quite smart because you've had like the little ones that sometimes you can buy in like a Lego store that you used to give as a giveaway from a new store opening. But this is like a modular version, so it's kind of like a bigger scale. So that's why I like this. So it could really, you know, it looks as a building. You can see the back, they got like a pick a brick wall and some of the, you know, the typical white cases you see in a Lego store for the display cases. I think, you know, they thought about everything. It looks quite smart, and I think this set deserves to be built, in my opinion. And it's kind of good promotion from Lego as well, right? Because how many YouTube videos have you seen from Lego cities where, you know, this could incorporate and have the Lego logo on it as well? I think this would be really good from a, you know, brand awareness perspective, and I think it's really smart the way they've done this. I like this set a lot, and that's why it's my number 2. And if you can think, it hasn't got the parts, but I think this would not be the most part intensive sort of set. Depends on the scale they obviously use. And it's got 16 comments so far. Now, can you have a guess what my number 1 set would be? My favorite set. And let's see if you agree with that. So my number 1 set is something that me and my son have tried to build several times. So to give you a clue, my son is a big fan of trains, and we feel that Lego currently is missing a really great train station. So that's why my favorite one, my number 1 choice would be the train station stud gate. Let me just go to the beginning pictures. Oh, there's that one, yep. So that's what it looks like. Now, I'm not sure if they're modeling this with the train or without the train, but, you know, even without the train, I think this, you know, this set looks really beautiful. You know, I think Lego are in dire need of a good train station. This would, you know, tick all those boxes again. If you look at some of the pictures, the attention to detail inside, it's like the old retro look as well. Lots of different detailing, but here, you know, like the chandelier inside, I think that's really, really smart. But getting close to 4,000 pieces again. This is going to be an expensive set if it ever comes to fruition, but it does look really nice. So I'll be keeping an eye on this set if this actually makes it or not. But yeah, this is definitely my favorite set of them all. And if we look at the comments, 51 comments, right? So I think I'm not the only one that's potentially interested in it. So I do expect, if this passes the production threshold, that if Lego can manufacture this, this is likely going to make it, depending on the price point and, you know, how many people will sign up for it from a pre-sale. So that's my top 13. Let me know if you agree or disagree in the comment section. Which sets would you like to see? I think it's quite encouraging now that Lego have taken ownership of Bricklink, that they kind of bring this initiative to Bricklink as well. I think it's a good idea for sets that haven't made it. It's also worth noting that I think some sets are not going to make it completely. They're actually going to make some of the instructions available for sale. So even if some of the sets they're not going to manufacture, you can get the instructions, you can buy the instructions, and I think the people who created them will get 75% of the earnings for those instructions, which is quite nice. But then they will also, you know, you can buy the bricks then from Bricklink or any Bricklink store around the world to make those sets become a realization, which I think is quite good, right? So yeah, we hope you enjoyed this video. I think it's a unique way now from Lego in terms of moving onto this, and I really look forward to seeing what sets are going to be shortlisted come June the 1st. So stay tuned for that. We'll definitely bring another update when we know more. But yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon for another video. Bye for now.